Vicky, was a reclusive introvert who found solace in the virtual world of the Hinge dating app. She preferred the limited interactions it offered, making it easier for her to connect with others. Her life was one of quiet introspection, as she found comfort in her small apartment filled with books and art. On the other hand, Ethan led a seemingly ordinary life, hiding a dark secret beneath his introverted exterior. He lived in a modest apartment, surrounded by old books and macabre artwork. As a child, he was fascinated by the mysteries of the night, drawn to the eerie allure of horror stories and tales of the supernatural. One day, Vicky stumbled upon Ethan's profile on Hinge. His love for classic literature and fascination with the macabre intrigued her immediately. They exchanged messages, and Vicky felt an instant connection. They agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, hoping to find solace in each other's quiet company. At the cafe, Vicky noticed Ethan's introverted nature right away, and she felt a sense of camaraderie with him. As the conversation progressed, she found herself opening up to Ethan in ways she hadn't with anyone else. He understood her need for solitude and embraced the beauty of their shared introversion. Their connection deepened, and they agreed to meet again. Unknown to Vicky, Ethan had a dark side. His introverted nature had nurtured a fascination with the shadows, and he had developed a sinister compulsion to disappear people he met through dating apps. Introverts, in particular, intrigued him. Their vulnerability made them easy prey for his twisted desires. As Vicky and Ethan's relationship grew, so did his desire to possess her completely. He began studying her habits, learning her routines, and waiting for the opportune moment to make her vanish. When he discovered that Vicky's parents would be away for the weekend, he saw the perfect chance to execute his sinister plans. On the chosen night, Ethan lured Vicky to a secluded spot under the pretext of stargazing. As the night grew darker, he made his move, leaving Vicky bewildered and frightened. With a chilling smile, he vanished, leaving Vicky lost and alone. Vicky's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, leaving friends and family desperate for answers. The police began investigating, but the lack of evidence and witnesses led to a dead end. Ethan, now free from the fear of discovery, continued his dark escapades, vanishing 2 other women he met through the Hinge app. As months passed, the disappearances remained unsolved, casting a dark cloud over the community. Meanwhile, Ethan began talking to yet another woman, Emily, on Hinge. She too was an introvert, and they formed an unexpected bond, much like the one he shared with Vicky. Ethan's next victim was Claire, a shy and reserved woman who loved painting and had a penchant for classic movies. They met at an art gallery, where Claire was showcasing her artwork. The atmosphere was electric as they explored the gallery, discussing each piece with passion. The connection between them seemed undeniable, yet beneath the surface, a sinister darkness lurked. Grace, the third woman to encounter Ethan, was an introverted writer who loved to immerse herself in fantasy worlds. They met at a cozy bookstore, where Ethan posed as a fellow aspiring writer. The bookstore's warm ambience fostered a sense of intimacy as they discussed their favorite authors and dreamt of creating captivating tales. Grace felt a connection with Ethan, unaware that he was already entwining her fate with his dark desires. Just like Vicky before them, both Claire and Grace disappeared without a trace after their first dates with Ethan. The void left by their absence was suffocating, spreading fear and suspicion throughout the community. Loved ones grieved, and the city was shrouded in darkness as the police struggled to find any leads. Emily, the determined journalist, became consumed by her investigation into the mysterious disappearances connected to the Hinge app. Her life took a dramatic turn as she delved deeper into the lives of the victims, driven by an insatiable thirst for justice. Haunted by the chilling similarities between the cases, Emily began to feel a sense of danger closing in around her. Her introverted intuition sensed she was getting too close to the truth, but her unyielding determination pressed her forward. The shadows seemed to watch her every move as she continued her relentless pursuit of the dark truth that lay behind the Hinge app. As Emily spent sleepless nights poring over old newspaper clippings and crime scene photos, she stumbled upon a chilling discovery. Ethan had left a trail of cryptic clues hidden within his favorite horror books, leading to the locations where he had made the women vanish. The ominous messages taunted her, challenging her to decipher their meaning. Armed with the evidence she needed, Emily confronted Ethan in his apartment. The eerie silence of the dimly lit room sent shivers down her spine. Ethan's calm demeanor masked the darkness within, as he tried to manipulate Emily and turn her fears against her. Emily's heart pounded, knowing that this encounter could be her last. But she drew strength from the courage of the victims and the urgency of her mission. As Ethan revealed the depth of his malevolence, Emily felt the weight of the darkness pressing upon her. In a dramatic climax, Emily's relentless pursuit led to Ethan's arrest. The introverted serial predator was finally caught and faced justice for his crimes. As he was led away in handcuffs, the city let out a collective breath, and the darkness that had loomed over the community began to dissipate. The disappearances were solved, but the impact of Ethan's actions left a haunting scar on the lives of the victims' loved ones. The truth had been brought to light, but the city would forever bear the marks of the Hinge of Darkness. As the story of the Hinge of Darkness came to an end, it served as a chilling reminder of the darkness that could reside within even the quietest of souls and the strength of those who dared to seek the truth. Vicky, Claire, and Grace, 3 introverted women, had their lives forever altered by the sinister events that unfolded on the Hinge app. Their disappearances became a cautionary tale, warning others of the hidden dangers that lurked behind virtual connections. Emily's relentless pursuit showcased the power introverts possess to unravel even the most twisted mysteries, leaving a lasting impact on the world she navigated with determination and courage. The haunting tale would forever linger in the hearts and minds of those who heard it, a chilling testament to the darkness that can reside within human souls. As Ethan sat behind bars, tormented by the weight of his malevolence, the community breathed a sigh of relief. The once dark shadows that enveloped the city began to recede, but Emily's work was not yet done. She knew that there was more to uncover, and she pressed Ethan for the whereabouts of the missing women. In a dramatic turn of events, Ethan finally broke under the pressure and confessed. He revealed the chilling truth about the cabin in the dark forest where he had kept Vicky, Claire, and Grace captive. The secluded and desolate cabin had become a nightmarish prison for the innocent souls he had snatched away. Emily, accompanied by a team of determined investigators, ventured into the heart of the forest. As they walked through the dense undergrowth, the darkness seemed to envelope them, echoing the terror that had gripped the 3 women during their captivity. The suspense grew as they neared the cabin. The air was heavy with anticipation, and the forest seemed to hold its breath. Upon reaching the cabin, the investigators found the door locked and barricaded. They broke it down, revealing the horrors hidden inside. The scene that greeted them was one of pure horror. Vicky, Claire, and Grace were bound and emaciated, their eyes sunken, and their bodies weak from prolonged captivity. The cabin bore witness to the agony and despair they had endured for months. Tears streamed down Emily's face as she rushed to untie the women, embracing them in a heartfelt reunion. The once captive introverts clung to each other, finding strength in their shared trauma. Their rescue marked the end of a harrowing journey through darkness and the beginning of a healing process that would take time and immense courage. The survivors were taken to a nearby hospital, where they received urgent medical attention and were reunited with their families. The road to recovery was long and challenging, as they had to learn to trust again and rebuild their lives after the horrors they had endured. Throughout their recovery, Emily stood by their side, offering her unwavering support. She became not only the journalist who sought the truth but also a friend and confidant who understood the depth of their pain. Emily's introverted nature allowed her to connect with them on a level that few others could, and her presence gave them the strength to heal. As the survivors regained their strength, they faced the daunting task of providing testimony against Ethan during his trial. Their bravery in facing their tormentor in court not only ensured that he received the harshest punishment but also brought closure to their own painful chapters. The trial was a gripping spectacle, as the chilling details of Ethan's crimes were laid bare for the world to see. The courtroom was filled with an air of sorrow and anger as loved ones of the victims sought justice for the lives torn apart by the introverted predator's darkness. In the aftermath of the trial, the survivors found solace in each other's company. Their shared experiences created an unbreakable bond, and they supported each other on their journey towards healing and reclaiming their lives. They vowed to turn their traumatic experiences into a force for good, advocating for the safety of online communities and raising awareness about the hidden dangers that lurk behind virtual connections. Emily's investigative journalism received widespread acclaim, and her work shed light on the importance of taking online safety seriously. Her introverted determination had not only unraveled the dark mysteries but also played a vital role in rescuing the survivors and bringing justice to their tormentor. As the scars began to heal, the survivors and Emily found themselves forever changed by their harrowing experiences. The darkness they encountered had not only shown them the capacity for evil but also the resilience of the human spirit. In honor of the three women who had endured the unimaginable, Emily wrote a book called The Hinge of Light. It became a bestseller, spreading awareness about the dangers of online connections and the strength found within the introverted heart. The survivors, with newfound courage, stepped into the spotlight as advocates for change, sharing their stories with the world. Together, they formed a support network for those who had experienced similar traumas, offering a beacon of hope and healing to those in need. As the years passed, the cabin in the dark forest became a distant memory, buried beneath the power of healing and unity. The Hinge app, once a source of darkness, was now a reminder of the strength of introverts coming together to overcome the horrors of the past. The hinge of darkness had now become the hinge of light, illuminating the path towards a safer and more empathetic world, where introverts and extroverts alike stood united against the shadows that threatened to consume us all.